Dan is now 18 years of age. He was born with a rare disorder. It's called Soto syndrome. You're kind of making the child in your head already. If it was a boy, I think, would he play basketball like his dad? Would he be tall? Would he be like me? Would he be funny, getting in trouble in school like I did? And then you're told then that there's something wrong. It's the loss of all of that life. You then have to work with services and hospitals, and then you realise you're in a different ballgame. You realise then you're in a huge fight. You're the person who fights for everything that he needs, and you're talking about getting his speech therapy, his physio, his OT, what school he's going to go to, and always constantly making sure he's getting those therapies. I had approached my doctor as I was suffering with anxiety about my whole situation at that stage, and he said to me, would I run? I said I didn't think I would, but he asked me to do it for 2 weeks and see how I got on. So I started to run, and I'm now over 13 years running. You're told a lot of what you can't do, and you're told a lot of what your child may not do.
Not being able to go out and see him playing football out in the street with the kids and stuff like that, it was very hard. I started doing the park runs with Sinead and Daniel down in Twyman Park, and then gradually then training up for the marathon then in 2017. I always ran because I had me basketball in the background from a young age, and then Gaelic football. But I think my first way of being introduced to hard running like Sinead and the guys did was a Christmas present she got me for my first marathon in 2017. The main challenge about Dan was he had to be doing something on the day. He couldn't just sit around the house. He plays with his toys for probably 5-10 minutes. He gets bored with that. So that's when he used to say, right, when the challenging behaviours came on, you got the runners on. You knew you had the rig, get the rig ready, and we'd go out for a run. We'd go for 2 hours, 3 hours gone for the day. He comes back in a different boy.
The connection then of Keith and Daniel and their bond massively grew. It was there already, but massively grew.
He'd have been out, he'd look back at me in the rig as we were out doing our long runs and stuff, and loved it. And I started to get a love for it as well. He basically talks through his eyes to me, like when we're out, and a smile, you know, once he's happy, I'm happy.
He loves being outdoors. He loves getting all the attention. He loves one-to-one attention being given to him. I used to be out walking with him because I definitely knew outdoors was a place that Daniel would actually get to sleep, and it was very hard. He wasn't sleeping at night, so it would be a place if you're walking with him, he'd sleep. What I see from it, and it comes from the sensory processing part of it, is that there is some stimulation he gets from the breeze on his face. Obviously the people around him then that I built in around with the different teams and where we go to run has been great for building his social skills as well. We were going to start this because that was going to be how we fundraise for Daniel in 2017. So it was the start of our fundraising campaign to adapt our home. We know that not other marathons do this. We know how hard it is to break down those barriers. There never was a barrier with Dublin Marathon. I do think it's the understanding and the empathy from that team. You know, Jim and Jean are our constant support.
As Jim says, as long as he's involved with the Dublin City Marathon, we'll be involved in it. And to hear something like that, it's very comforting. They're just amazing people.
You know, if you think of any runner, so you have nutrition, you have training. So if you're caring for someone, right, that's hard. So you're trying to do your running and caring for someone at the same time. Sleep would be a major factor of anyone that's an athlete, and we know that. But most parents with people with disabilities, they don't get the required sleep, and the fact that they're working so hard during the day.
He's known throughout the running community, all the clubs, top athletes like you'd have Peter Samba, who comes over and goes down, claps his hands and that stuff like that, you know. And there'd be lads from Stourbridge, there'd be Mick Clossy from Raheny, Dave Feeney, you know, referee buddy of mine. Being involved in the Dublin Marathon and stuff like that, like he just loves it. He loves the day, loves the build up, because he knows he's going to be training. I'm going out, I'm doing my few hours with the boys.
When you're running with Daniel, this is just a totally different experience. It's very hard to explain until you actually get into it and do it. I think it's just a more calmer way of running and a more enjoyable way of running. You're not competing. It's just you're out there just to enjoy the run and enjoy Daniel pushing Daniel. Do you know what I mean?
Getting out into the community, whether it's doing a marathon or doing a park run, I think the more that we break down the barriers, bring awareness to our kids, no matter what disability that we have, we cannot but make our communities better. It's not necessarily all about, as I say, the services and hospital care. We've set up that we have lone running chairs, and it's giving people the opportunity to use those chairs and see that they like it, and allowing them to use them if they want to for a run as well. Dan will have his best life because he's known in the community, and that's the one thing. They're the friends outside of the services and the care that really look out for him. They're the people that have his back all the time, and that's what I love.